the C5, but how does it compare to a C3 Corvette? Mainly, I don't want to compare this to my Corvette because there's such a generation gap between this one and my C5, but I love this car. This car is fantastic to drive. As a weekend driving car, one of my favorites. It's not the fastest. Does it handle good? No. Does it have leaks? Yes. But it's a manual transmission, it's fun, looks great, and just a blast to drive. What I love most about it is just the styling of the car. Swooping fenders, just super curvy, not so in your face, not aggressive, just a classic muscle car. We had this thing repainted, and the original person that painted the car for us, I don't know how they messed up, but this center section here was supposed to match this beautiful maroon paint, but I don't know where the communication got mixed up, but like, that's the most hideous section of this car. It's, let me get a flashlight. It's such a girly, glittery pink, and I don't understand how he messed that up to where it doesn't match the maroon. This isn't a facts and figures video. It's just driving the car and experiencing it. The shifting of the manual, just the overall functioning of the car, and it's not fast, it doesn't handle great, just a fun car to drive. This is my dad's 1974 Chevy C3 Corvette, and this thing is just a blast to drive. One of my favorite weekend cars. 350 Chevy engine paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, just a blast to drive. Hopefully it's not super glare in the camera. It's quite bright out. But go ahead and just do a quick drive in the car. First to second, just smooth. And this is the car that I learned how to drive manual in. I've been asking my dad to take me out and teach me for a long time. And eventually said, you know what? Let's go. And this was the car that I learned it. However, it does need work. Brake pedal's a little bit squishy. It does stop, but it seems to go down pretty far. It's got a differential leak. It's got a transmission leak. It's got a leak from the valve cover gaskets. Basically, anywhere you could think of that can leak, it leaks. But overall, if this was personally my car, I would pay the money to fix it. It's such an iconic American Chevy muscle car. In my experience, every time I've driven it, people that I pass usually are giving me a thumbs up. They're just excited to see an old car like this. And there are plenty of them out there, but you don't see them every day. Comparing it to my personal C5 Corvette, that is many years newer than this, has a lot more power as a weekend car. My C5 is a lot of fun. It's fast, powerful, loud and turns heads. But this one, just being such a classical car of a American muscle car, you can't beat it. The suspension of this thing is much softer than my C5, and honestly it makes it more of an enjoyable ride. Having this over my C5 Corvette, I'd personally rather have my C5. That was the first car I ever bought. It has sentimental value to me, but working on it compared to this thing, at least to me, my C5 is a lot easier to work on. It's a lot easier to get parts. It's just a simple Chevy LS1. Not saying that this engine isn't at all simple, but I'm a lot more familiar with my fuel-injected C5 versus this thing. And there's no problem with that, because this thing is just a blast. I'm sure my dad would have the option of this car versus my C5, he'd probably take this one. It's just personal preference. But taking them both to a close town car show would be a lot of fun. And for the longest time when I was working on this, I found out that this thing actually has power steering. And for the longest time, we all thought it was just heavy manual steering. So I've got it working, and my dad was ecstatic because it just makes it a lot more enjoyable to drive. You know, just kind of turn around easier, not having to worry about fighting the turn. It was such a breeze knowing that it had that kind of steering. Now this wouldn't be your average grocery getter car, but as just a weekend cruiser, kind of go to the grandparents' house, to go see some old friends, or just to take a drive if you're bored and want to enjoy the beautiful day. I would take this over my C5. I did a bunch of work to it for him. We put new tires on it, got the AC fixed, and actually converted the AC to R134 to today's refrigerant. Coolant flush, tranny flush, differential, engine oil. Did a lot of work to it already, and the car's, besides the tranny and the brake, is running fantastic. It's just healthy as can be, which is amazing because this car only has 86,000 miles on it. It's a lower mileage car for the age it is. The car itself will be getting wrapped, and it'll be kind of similar to the maroon that it already is, but it's going to have some flake to it where it's in the sunlight it's a deep dark maroon, but then if you hit a certain angle the car almost looks black. So it's going to be a fantastic color once it's all done. I can't wait for that. Like I said, this video wasn't meant to be a facts and figures, why this is the best car to drive as a weekend car, why I like this over my C5 or vice versa. It was just to show me enjoying this car and a little bit of a different style video that I've filmed. I haven't filmed this kind of style of video where my camera is up against the window and seeing me physically driving the car. And I'm kind of excited to edit this video together to see how it actually turns out. And I hope you guys like it. And if you guys do like it, I'll do it a lot more in my future videos. I also like how this car from way back then has power windows. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see, what kind of videos you want to see. If you want to see something in particular with this car, or the Plymouth Prowler, any of my cars, anything. I would love to know what you guys would like to see. If you like this video though, please like and comment and subscribe, as it lets me know that you guys enjoy my content and that you want to see more.